You know that feeling, right? Even in the most creative teams, you've got all this ambition, but actually starting the innovation process feels, well, impossible. You lose steam, you lose money, and worst of all, you lose great ideas before they even have a chance. So today, we're going to dig into how you can engineer a much better way forward. And it all starts right here with what we can call the innovation bottleneck. It's that really frustrating phase where a company wants to innovate, but it's struggling to come up with and, more importantly, validate high-quality ideas. This is more than just a creative block. The source material calls it an idea drought. So let me just ask you this straight up. Does this sound familiar? You're holding brainstorming sessions, you're collecting ideas, but you still feel totally stuck. How in the world do you figure out which ideas are actually worth chasing? Which ones are the real game changers, and which are just costly distractions? Yeah, and let's be clear, this is no small problem. The cost of this drought is huge. We're talking wasted time, wasted money, and brilliant opportunities that just, poof, vanish into thin air. It's that messy, fuzzy front end of innovation that's where so much incredible potential gets lost. But what if you had something to help you navigate all that uncertainty? Well, that's where our source material introduces a potential solution, a system called IdeaNAV, which is designed to be your guide through that thick fog of early-stage innovation. So what is this thing exactly? At its heart, IdeaNAV is an AI-enhanced software, but it's built on a really powerful idea, combining our human creativity with the raw analytical power of AI. The whole point is to finally break through that idea drought. Okay, but how does a system like this actually work? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the core engine. Turns out the whole thing is built on three really important design principles. And this is where it gets really cool. These three principles are the bedrock. First, you've got a systematic architecture. Think of it like a perfectly balanced set of scales, making sure you can compare every single idea, apples to apples, without any bias. Second, right in the middle, is this idea of human-AI synergistic collaboration. And third, there are consistent, rigorous evaluation criteria. It's like putting every idea under the same high-powered microscope. Let's zoom in on that collaboration piece for a sec. This is not about an AI just spitting out answers. It's a true synergy. The system is literally designed to help you evolve your own thinking and to really pressure test your concepts, making them tougher and more resilient before you spend a ton of money on them. Now, that all sounds pretty great in theory, right? But what does it actually look like for a team on a random Tuesday morning trying to figure out their next big move? How do these principles actually turn into things you can use? All right, let's get practical. The source material points to three specific capabilities in what it calls IdeaNAV Pro Plus, and they're just fantastic examples of this core engine in action. First up, there's something called parallel path evaluation, and this is just brilliant. Instead of betting the farm on one version of an idea, you can explore a bunch of variations all at the same time. You could test different uses, different markets, all of them measured against what your customers actually want. It lets you quickly figure out which path gives you that all-important first mover advantage. Next, we have systematic filtering. So imagine you just crowdsourced like 100 different ideas. That's the super wide open top of the innovation funnel. How do you find the real gems in there? Well, this capability helps you slice through all that noise. It asks the tough questions for you. Should this be a product or a service? What's the fastest way to get it to market? And most importantly, what makes it actually competitive? It helps you filter everything down until you're left with that one winning idea at the bottom. And this slide just shows the strategic shift perfectly. On the left, you've got the before. You know, that hamster wheel of the fuzzy front end, where teams just burn so much time and energy going in circles. But look at the right. That's the after. You have a focused team moving with total confidence into that expensive, high-stakes execution phase because they know they're building the right thing. So when you put it all together, that parallel path evaluation, the systematic filtering, and that much smarter resource allocation, it all points to one ultimate payoff, gaining a real, sustainable competitive edge. And here's exactly how you build that edge. I mean, think of it like a domino effect. By taking the risk out of those early stages, you dramatically speed up your time to market. That, of course, means you waste fewer resources, which then leads to way better decision-making. And that whole cycle is what finally unlocks that powerful, lasting competitive advantage. When you boil it all down, the core promise here becomes so incredibly clear and powerful. It's not just about doing one thing better. It's about fundamentally changing the whole equation. You get higher quality output, you do it in less time, and you do it for less money. I mean, that's the innovation trifecta right there. So this whole explainer really leaves us with one big question to think about. When you look at your own team, at your own projects, is your innovation process something that just kind of happens, or is it truly engineered for success in a future where human-AI collaboration isn't just a novelty, it's the new standard? Thanks for tuning in.